on December 14, 2013 at Michael J. Fox Theater. Please come watch us at the Vancouver Grand Finals of EveRIAthing Season 6. See you there!
Josephine's Restaurant and Catering. We offer lutong bahay Filipino dishes and desserts. Try our crispy pata, lumpiang Shanghai, pancit palabok, rellenong manok, and many more. We serve halo-halo, leche flan, and other traditional Filipino desserts. For events and special occasions, Josephine's also offers catering services and takeout party trays. For authentic Filipino cuisine and true Pinoy taste, try Josephine's Restaurant and Catering, 2650 Main Street in Vancouver.
Hey everyone, it's Ria and welcome back to another episode of EveRIAthing. How's everyone doing today? Awesome. I hope you all had a wonderful week so far, and it's nice to see a lot of new faces in the audience and of course some familiar faces. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting me. And today I'm really looking forward to this episode because we have a really exciting guest, and she's absolutely beautiful inside and out, and of course a very powerful young woman as well. Now, our guest is actually very inspiring, motivating, influential, and as I said, powerful. And what's so great about her is that she's only in her 20s, so she's so young and she's accomplished so much. I mean, there's just so much to talk about and so many accomplishments to talk to her about, and she's just, I don't even think 30 minutes is enough to talk about this. I think we need like 30 days or 30 months. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, she has accomplished so much, and I remember being little and going to kindergarten, and everyone's always asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everyone's saying, when I grow up, I want to be this. When I grow up, I want to be this. And I know so many people who don't start until they're older. And of course, they say it's never too late to chase your dreams, but it's also never too early to start chasing them. I think that's what makes her so great, is that she's so young and she's actually accomplished so much in just 3 years. And what makes that great is that she's a great role model because she proves that you can do anything if you set your mind and heart to it. And that's why we're so lucky to have her here today. I mean, in those 3 years, she has gained 3 pageant titles, she's traveled to over 8 countries, and she's gotten a bunch of requests for TV interviews and speaking engagements, coaching, and so much more, which is why I'm so happy that she made time to come here with us today. I was going over her website and I was absolutely blown away because she shared this video about a girl named Monica, and she lives in Uganda, and then Monica was explaining about how she is finally getting an education despite all the odds in Uganda. And it's really crazy to see the disparity between our country and all of these other third world countries. We take so many things for granted nowadays that we don't realize how lucky and how blessed we are to have all of the people around us, this technology, natural resources. And I think that's what's so great about our guest here today, is that she makes us realize these things, and she makes us realize how lucky we are. And even I'm just so moved. I'm just so inspired to even continue and join her in her journey to inspire other people to help make a change in the world. It is one thing to be beautiful on the outside, but it is another thing, of course, to be beautiful on the inside, and that's not always a given, right? And the thing that's so great is that she pretty much gives beauty a completely different definition. So let's please give a round welcome for Miss British Columbia 2010, Miss Canada 2011, and Miss World Canada 2012, Miss Tara Tang.
I'm humbled by that introduction.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had to I had to write everything down, make sure I knew everything word for word. I didn't want to miss anything because you've just done so much amazing stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate
Thank you
all
for
that
coming.
encouragement and your kind words.
Aw, thank you.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say.
You're like my newest idol. Like when I started to pick you, I was like, we need more Tara Tangs in this world. You know? Like,
We need more of everyone just living to the fullness of their potential in the world, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very active in your pursuit of goals, and there's so much stuff that's going around the world: human trafficking, modern day slavery, child exploitation, racial injustice. And what I love about you most is you're always promoting equality. And you're showing us this stuff because most of us, we're so absorbed with other things. We don't realize what's more important. There are bigger issues in the world too. Kids not having enough to drink. And it's just so amazing that you're so young, but your heart is like full of gold. Like, I know you were a beauty pageant queen and your tiara was big, but your heart is bigger.
Oh, well, thank you.
How young were you when you started all the humanitarian stuff?
I was impacted by a lot of these different stories of what's going on around the world from a very young age. I remember being young and hearing stories of people who changed history. But what really impacted me, I was about 12 years old, so pretty young, and I remember watching just documentaries. I'm a nerd. I love to learn. I love to watch documentaries. I love to find out what's going on and hear people's stories. And so there's this one documentary in particular that changed the course of my history, and it was called Bangkok Girl. And it told the story of a young woman in Bangkok, Thailand, and she was trapped in the sex trade. And there's this one moment where she said something that was very simple, but impacted my life forever. And she looked directly into the camera lens, and it was like all of a sudden she popped out of the TV screen and she was right across from me, as like you and me right now. And she just said, "No one cares about me." And she literally believed that her life had no value. And that has stuck with me to this day. Because I believe that the value of human life is immeasurable, and people were meant to live in freedom. And the fact that she had her value and her dignity and her freedom stripped from her, that she only believed that she was worth just what someone would pay for her for sex, that just devastated me. And coming from a Southeast Asian background, my father was born and raised in Singapore. He immigrated to Canada. I'm first generation Canadian on my dad's side. I had heard stories for years and years and years. My dad remembers time where his family risked starvation, where they didn't have enough food to eat. So I heard these stories of poverty, and I heard stories of gender inequality. My grandmother never got an education because the boys got education and she didn't. Knowing this, and knowing that I was born in Canada, I was always grateful. Like, I knew my life would be completely different if I was born somewhere else. And then I moved into a new community when I was about 16 years old, so around your age. I found out that my neighbor's daughter, at 14 years old, was lured into prostitution by a trafficker who posed as her boyfriend. She fell in love with him, she was manipulated, and essentially lured into a life of slavery in sex trafficking, and she's been gone ever since. And this isn't in a third world country. This is right here, in my neighborhood. And so it woke me up to realize that this happens everywhere, and that we all have a role to play. We all have a responsibility to take care of one another. And I got into university, and I just joined a little social justice club, and I started talking to my peers. Hey, did you know this happened here? Or let's do a fundraiser for this, or let's do that. Just whatever I could do. We all have influence. We all know somebody, and we can have an opportunity to impact those people's lives around us. It all depends on how we choose to use that influence. When you start to step forward and you kind of take a step of faith, the right doors just start opening up for you, and you find yourself where you need to be.
Yeah, and I'm really happy also that you won all the beauty pageants, because I know that when you're looking for a beauty queen, you're looking for someone who's going to be a great role model.
Right.
And that's exactly what you are.
I love the opportunity to see a victim become a survivor. It's so empowering. Through the work that I've done, I have seen some of the worst things that humanity can do to one another. I've seen dark places, but then I've seen freedom, and I've seen restoration, and I've seen dignity, and that inspires me more than anything.
It's nice to see everyone making a change, and it's so empowering, and you feel like you just want to cry because you're just so happy for them that they went through a lot and finally they're free.
I'll never forget, I was in Thailand in 2011. And we were working with one of my partner organizations, Traffic Jam. We were in Bangkok, Thailand. Red light district all around us. We were in this tiny little room, and we were there with women who have been rescued from sex trafficking, who have their lives back now, and they're going through healing and restoration. They're getting job skill training so that they can be self-sustaining in the real world, where they can take care of themselves and they can move forward in their lives as strong women. And so we were there with them, and they were so cute. Like, they had been waiting all day at the door for us. They're like, Miss Canada's coming to visit us. And they had curled their hair and gotten all dressed up. They're just precious, amazing women. And we just had the best day. So we had an incredible dinner, and then after dinner, I was there with the band, and we started singing for them. As we were singing, the women recognized this one song, and they joined us, and they sang with such conviction and such passion that they actually drowned us out. And I tell you, looking around the room and seeing the joy on these women's faces, women who previously had been told that they are worth nothing, now know that they are valuable, that they are worthwhile, that they are strong, that they are precious, living in freedom. There's nothing that compares to that. You know, there is a sound of freedom, and it's laughter, and it's singing, it's brilliant. I've had crazy moments too where I had a near-death experience with an elephant in Sri Lanka, and I almost got trampled by an elephant. I mean, there's been crazy experiences, but I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. I mean, life is supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be crazy. There's ups, there's downs.
It's going to be boring without any elephants.
We need a little bit of everything, don't we?
With all of your achievements, did you ever receive any threats at some point? Was it hard at some point?
Yeah, it's never always easy. We all know that. Yeah. Life is not perfect. Every day has challenges. Yeah, there are sometimes you pay the price for it. I chose to opt out of the swimsuit competition at Miss World last year. I got amazing support by Julia Morley and my fellow delegates at Miss World, but other people weren't so happy. Whenever you choose to take a stand, there might sometimes be opposition. That's just a fact of life. Other things are really difficult, but if you believe in it, you can't back down, you can't compromise, and you can't give up. Otherwise, where would we be?
Exactly. And like my mom always says, don't worry so much about the people who are trying to bring you down, because wherever you go, you're still always going to have supporters who love you and will stick with your choice no matter what. And you know, that's what's really great, is that, like you said, people are different, we all have different opinions, and that's really nice. And of course, like you also said, life is really hard, but we got to take a stand for what we believe in. Life does not come with a user's manual and a call 1-800 if you want to
rock the world, you got to rock the boat a little bit.
Exactly.
Every country I've been to has had really special moments. I loved Sri Lanka. It was pristine. It was beautiful. The women, the kids, and everyone was just so precious. I loved Guatemala. I taught English in Guatemala for a summer back in 2010. And walking down the cobblestone streets every day, there was this one little lady, 80 years old. She had no teeth. But when she smiled, I swear, her eyes disappeared into her wrinkles, and her smile just took up her entire face. She was just radiant. And the very last day that I was in Guatemala, we told her that we were leaving, and she picks up a little fruit, and there was 3 of us, and there were 3 of her fruit left. And she gave one of her fruit to each of us. I don't think I've ever had a better gift in my entire life. I can't pick a country that I love the best, but there are moments that I'll never forget.
Exactly. And you know, you never know that there could be a stranger in the mall, and maybe like just smiling at them can make their day, because they could have had a really bad day. If you just give them a smile, it doesn't hurt to be nice. You don't need to do anything other than just smile at someone, ask them how their day is going, give them like a genuine compliment. Which reminds me, I really like your shoes.
Thanks.
If they're not in your closet tomorrow, then
I know where
to find them. Just don't look at my feet, because then I'm in trouble.
We'll do our fashion segment next.
Anyways, now we're going to talk about your beauty and your amazing beauty pageants and your titles and your glamorous self. And you've won 3, and those are really all big things too, because how many people in the world get to say I was Miss Canada, Miss World Canada, Miss British Columbia? What do you think are like the 3 biggest assets or qualifications that you have that made you win?
I was different, because I didn't do beauty pageants, beauty queens, same way that everyone else did. I always said, I'm not a beauty queen, I'm an abolitionist. You know, I've always been a fighter. and so I was always really focused. I went into it with purpose. I was seeking a crown for influence to impact other people's lives. I think that that was one thing that really made me stand out. It was a little bit different. The reason why I did a pageant, one of the reasons why I did a pageant the very first time, which was Miss BC, the first pageant I participated in, the first one I won. The reason why I did it is because I was tired of allowing fear to hold me back. I didn't step out of my comfort zone. I didn't take risks. I didn't try new things. I stuck with what I knew I was good at. And so I just realized, you know, we have one life to live. Time is short, and I knew that if I didn't take a step out there, I would regret it in the long run. So I just tried, and I just put my best effort out there, and I just wanted to experience the experience for all that it had to offer. I never actually expected to win, but when they asked me, you know, what would you do if you were Miss British Columbia, I had just gotten back from Guatemala. I had seen all of these things and lived amongst it every single day, and so when they asked me, what would you do if you were Miss British Columbia, I had an answer. I'm humbled by the opportunity to have been Miss British Columbia, Miss Canada, Miss World Canada. Like you said, not everyone gets to say that they had that experience, and I'm so humbled to have represented my province and my country, and just to be able to give back.
I think that's what really is what makes you unique and so special, is that you're telling us we all have needs, and we all need to help each other out, because in the end, we're all just one big community, and we all need to stick by each other no matter what. We're not going to have, one person can't build a whole building by themselves. One person can't go anywhere without another person's support. We all have to go in a give and take kind of relationship with every single person in this world. If all 7 billion of us could just like work cooperatively, then we would live in like such an amazing world.
And especially in today's day and age where the world has become a lot smaller.
Exactly.
Where what we do here really does affect everything else around the world. We are all so connected. You can get on a plane and, you know, in 15 hours you can be on the other side of the planet.
Exactly. When I watch all these videos, like the ones you share, and even just in general, like videos on YouTube, on TV, all these documentaries and stuff, they make you realize all of the things around you, and they make you so much more grateful for what you have. And I think everyone deserves to have something like that and have a right to stand up for themselves.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, let's say a girl, let's say I, or anyone really, would join a beauty contest. What do you think would be things that they should have, like personality-wise? Like, what's your advice?
Well, you know, beauty pageants are changing, and I really applaud that. It's great to see that we're moving forward. I mean, it's 2013. For goodness sake, you can't judge a person just solely on their outward appearance, because we're not defined by our bodies. I'm 5'4".
Me too.
Yes. I mean, if we were talking about a competition solely based on height, I would lose every single time. I am not the tallest girl out there. And I love that beauty pageants are changing. They're starting to get past the stereotypical, and they're starting to actually look at the heart of the individual. And that's where we really see beauty. I think that if you want to be anybody, if you want to be an ambassador, if you want to be a beauty queen, a leader, a role model, first off, you need to be a person of compassion. You need to be a person of integrity. You need to be a person of conviction. You need to be willing to serve. Like, if I'm judging a pageant, which I've judged many and I've coached many, that's what I look for. I look for leaders. And that can be any size, that can be any race, that can be any gender, that can be any age. It's about the heart of an individual. And so if you really want to start doing beauty pageants, that's what I would say you need to start cultivating. And I need to say, to be successful, you need to know who you are and what you stand for and what you're trying to achieve. That would be my encouragement to anyone who's seeking to do beauty pageants, because they really are changing. What are the no-nos of pageantry? Just be a responsible person of integrity, and you will be just fine.
Of course, respect yourself, respect the people around you. And with the people looking up to you writing stuff, being on YouTube, being seen by the world, it's crazy, because I can get really, a lot of nice comments, but I can also get some negative ones. I just try not to let it affect me.
And some of them are so uncalled for. We need to accept real, authentic, genuine beauty and realize that people, we come with flaws. We come in different shapes and sizes, and that is what makes us fabulous.
Exactly. It's our imperfections that make
Absolutely.
us who we are, that make us beautiful, that make us like so unique, and that's what makes the world exciting, because everyone
Exactly.
is different. What do you think what a girl should have as virtues aside from being respectful and having integrity in order to be like successful? Would you say there are any others?
Male, female, doesn't matter. Know who you are. Be a person of integrity. Be a person who's compassionate. Be bold and fearless and courageous. Admit your mistakes. We all make them. No one is going to be perfect. And it shows your humanity when you can admit that you're wrong sometimes. We've all been there, right? Be humble. Work hard, stay humble, be grateful, love those who are around you. And as we said earlier, I personally don't believe in tearing one another down in order to get to the top. There is more than enough room for all of us to be successful, because you're different, I'm different, we all have different things to contribute and different things to offer. So we can all succeed, and we should be helping one another succeed.
Exactly. Holding hands.
Exactly.
We should, instead of pushing people down to get up, like you said, we should all be helping each other to climb
And
up.
those people who decide to do that, again, karma's going to get you.
Yeah, that's what I
What
always
goes
say.
around comes around. If you're going to be a nasty person, eventually
Nasty will happen to you.
it's going to bite you in the butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say that you had one more mission to do in like your whole life, or even just in a year, and it was your last one. What would it be?
I said from day one, like, first pageant I did, I just won Miss BC. I walked into the first night of the Miss Canada competition, Trademark Miss Canada, out in Montreal in 2011. And we were all going around the table and we were introducing ourselves. And it got to my turn, and I just said, my name's Tara Tang. I am the current, at the time, Miss British Columbia, and I work to end human trafficking. And if I win Miss Canada, I'm going to work to end human trafficking. And if I don't win Miss Canada, I'm going to work to end human trafficking. That's my number one goal. That's what I feel I've been put on this earth to do. Not alone. Nobody can change the world just by themselves, as we said. It's about collaboration. I work with incredible partnerships, incredible individuals, because we work together as a team. That's what we are about. And we are always about involving more people, because I believe everybody has a role to play in this cause. And when you're talking about human trafficking, you're also talking about poverty. You're also talking about gender inequality. You're also talking about racial discrimination. You're talking about people taking advantage of others. It's so complex. There's so many other things that it affects. And so that's what I'm dedicated to, and I'll be dedicated to it until the job is done.
Years from now, when I am old and wrinkly and my kids are doing research for school and they're like, "Mom, who's a good role model?" I'm like, "Have you seen Tara Tang? She has changed." That's what I'm picturing right now. Everyone deserves to see what you have to say.
Anyone can do any of the things that I've done and beyond. It's just my job to do what I feel I'm called to do, what God has asked me to do, and to be faithful in that, and just let God take control of the rest.
What would you, I know a lot of my friends and girls in my school, even like 12-year-olds are like dating.
Yeah.
What would you say is your opinion on like really young girls dating?
Boys, love. Oh my gosh. Now we're getting to the real girl talk. I probably would wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
While love is amazing, and I definitely recommend it to everyone, I love love. I love my man, and I'm such a fan of really healthy, strong relationships. Just people who support one another, it's incredible. I so commend that. That's awesome. I wish that for everybody. But sometimes you got to do your journey alone until you're strong enough to be at a healthy place to be able to do it together as a strong team.
Yeah.
So for young girls who are kind of in that place of figuring themselves out, there's no rush. But it happens when it's supposed to happen. So you just do your thing, and you just be you, and you go forward with it, what you feel you're called to do. For me, it was human trafficking. Maybe for someone else, it's some other thing that they're really passionate about. But you just go and do that, and you'll eventually, along the journey, you'll find somebody who's right for you that shares the same heart. And you guys can just continue doing the same thing together as a team.
What would you do if it was your last dinner?
Every moment is so precious. And so I would spend it with the people that matter most to me. And together we would do the things that really, really make an impact in the world. We have one life. What are we going to do with it? What is the legacy at the end of our lives that we're going to leave behind? You got to leave an impact for the people here that are left behind. That's what it's about.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
That's very inspiring,
Yeah. Bringing the world one step closer to on earth as it is in heaven.
YOLO, that's the motto.
Right?
YOLO. I can't believe I just quoted that. I'm not going to be able to live with myself. Okay. If you had $1 million, 1 million, this is The Price is Right. Or Who Wants to Be a Billionaire? Yeah, millionaire, that's the one.
Million?
Okay. What would you do with it? If you
Oh
had
my gosh.
only 1 million.
What are the things that are most valuable to me? It's impacting people's lives. I would love to see programs that really inspire young people to walk into who they were created to be. I really believe in media literacy, and I believe about seeing strong leaders in the world that are real people, that are passionate. And so I probably would invest it into different programs that invested more into young leaders of the world. I mean, one of the reasons why I was so excited to come onto this show and be a guest sitting here with you is the fact that you are young. And you are a woman of ethnicity. And we don't see that on TV very often. We don't see that in media. And we need to see those leaders more. We need to hear those voices. We need to have those kind of conversations that are real and genuine and authentic. And so I probably would invest it into more young leaders around the world because we need to see that. And we are one of the best countries in the world to be a woman. But still, we don't see enough women in parliament.
Exactly, yeah.
Still, we don't see enough women that are CEOs or sitting in the boardrooms. We need to see more of that because we need to have all of the different voices at the table and all of the different stories being told. And we need to see women that are strong and intelligent, courageous and integral, and they are writing their own stories. Things like that, I probably would invest money into it. Investing in leaders, that's priceless.
I'm so happy to hear all of your amazing inspirational things, and thank you for taking the time to come here as well because I know you're really busy. And I really hope that when people hear this and watch you, that they're going to be as touched and affected as I was, and moved by all of your words and everything.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you again soon. But
I'm sure we will.
Before we go eat some tacos and burgers, we have a little wall of fame here. And we have
I see some friends on that wall too.
Ooh la la.
Awesome.
And we get all of our guests to sign.
Oh, perfect.
So you can sign it and drink.
Absolutely. I always wanted a Star of Fame. I love it. And this one is glittery, which is even better.
Yeah.
I love glitter.
Everything gotta be girly. Pink and glitter.
Glitter's got to go on everything.
Go wrong with pink and glitter.
No, man. There we go. Awesome.
Thank you for coming here, and
Oh, it's my
of course,
pleasure.
we should see each other again soon.
Absolutely.
For sure.
BFFs.
Yeah, for sure, teamwork. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge, huge round of applause for Miss Chris.
Thank you.
Josephine's Restaurant and Catering. We offer lutong bahay Filipino dishes and desserts. Try our crispy pata, lumpiang Shanghai, pancit palabok, rellenong manok, and many more. We serve halo-halo, leche flan, and other traditional Filipino desserts. For events and special occasions, Josephine's also offers catering services and takeout party trays. For authentic Filipino cuisine and true Pinoy taste, try Josephine's Restaurant and Catering, 2650 Main Street in Vancouver.
On December 4th,